Hi, I'm Courtney Peters.
And I'm Phil Schlemmer.
And welcome to
Into the Spectrum.
So, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about vacuum cleaners.
So, not just vacuum cleaners.
Just one thing, hold on. So this is not rehearsed. I just want to repeat that. I have no idea what I'm going to ask her. I'm just going to ask her a question. So she said it's about vacuum cleaners. So here we go.
So, what about vacuum cleaners specifically? It is the noise. So many things can be so loud, and when you are oversensitive to those things, so you're getting that sensory input and it's so loud. So vacuum cleaners is just one example of things that can be around the household that are too loud. Can you think of other things that are around the house that are so loud that could be annoying?
I would say hair dryers.
For sure.
Phone ringing really loud.
Okay.
TV maybe if it's like,
Yeah.
getting a little bit loud music or
Yep.
what else? Like maybe a fire alarm went off.
Great.
Or something like that, smoke alarm, or maybe like if you're doing a yard, you got the weed eater.
Perfect.
Or something like that.
Those are great examples.
Yeah. So you're gonna tell us how to, basically, if something's really loud, you're gonna tell us how to desensitize, right?
Right. Desensitization. Okay. Try to say that 3 times fast. I can't. I just had to work to get it 1 time.
Desensitization. Desensitization.
You're better than I am.
No.
So what we're talking about here is when things are too loud, this is one thing that you can do to try to get used to this sound, just because these things are in our everyday life. So vacuum cleaners are going all the time because we're trying to clean our house. Mm-hmm. When we're using a hair dryer, we might be using that every morning to try to dry our hair. Those are things that we encounter every day. If the yard, you guys are working on the yard and the weed whacker or Lawnmower. Thank you. The lawnmower. So all these things we're using every day. So how can we get somebody used to listening to these noises? In comes desensitization. Okay. I'm giving myself a thumbs up every time I say it right.
So, okay. So let's see. So pretty much the vacuum cleaner, I would say, is pretty much everyone has a vacuum cleaner, right? So let's do that one. How would you make someone okay with the sound that really might hurt their ears or might be really loud? So how would you make it so they're not totally in pain or freaking out or hurting or... Right.
And it could actually be painful to their ears.
Yeah.
So we really have to think about that and be mindful of that. Mm-hmm. But start out slow. So how I usually work on it is you systematically put it in and try to do it in a lesser amount. And let me give an example. What we can do is we can actually get our phone and YouTube vacuums. Weirdly enough, there's a lot of vacuum sounds and people vacuuming on YouTube.
I bet.
So it comes off, I would monitor the video and make sure it's just vacuuming, but that's one way where you can actually watch it, and you can start off with a low volume or even no volume at all. Sometimes just seeing the vacuum might be provoking
like a trigger.
Yep.
Okay.
And so you systematically increase the volume, so get it louder and louder and louder.
So keep turning up your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but so so you would just show them the video.
Mm-hmm.
And like one time?
Yeah, and so what I would do is show them the video and see if they show signs that they're irritated. So are they covering their ears? Are they almost starting to sweat or running away? Then they're not ready for the next step yet if they're doing that. So we have to wait until they're calm with that step. Once they're able to tolerate that step, we move to the next step. Okay. So if we're just showing the video of no sound and vacuum, we'll wait until they're calm with that one before putting any sound on.
So what if they're not calm? And what if they see the vacuum run and plug their ears?
Right.
How do you make them okay with that?
If with a real vacuum?
No. How do you make them okay with just the sight of it? If the sight of the video makes them do this and get really scared, how do you get them over that?
Well, that's a great question. And this is a tough one. But what we do a lot of times, we might also just have it on for 1 second and prep them. So I'm going to show you a vacuum. So let's look at this vacuum, and we're just going to look for it for 1 second. Are you ready? 1 second. There it is. It's away. We put it away, and we do what we say too. So if I'm saying we're only going to do it for 1 second, that's all we're going to do. We're not going to push it anymore. So I think telling them what's going to happen, because a lot of times it could be that fear of, when is the sound coming on? I see this vacuum, and what's going to happen? I don't know.
Okay.
So just giving them that warning, here's what's going to happen.
Okay. And so if they are calm for that 1 second, then do you give them a reinforcement, like some sort of treat, like candy or something that makes them...
I would, or just let them have free time, or play a game that they want to play.
Okay.
So, we have them make sure that they're calm.
Okay. And then what do you do after that? Then say they do it for 1 second, then you move it to 2 seconds?
Yep, and then you increase it. You got it.
Okay.
So once they're doing that for 1 second, then we're like, okay, like you did so well with listening to that for 1 second, or for looking at it for 1 second. Now we're going to do it for 2 seconds. So again, you're letting them know what's to be expected, and then you're starting to increase it. So then 2 seconds, then 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and so on. And then you do the same.
And then you increase the volume
and then
as well.
you increase the volume as well.
Okay. And then once they get through that, you pull out the vacuum and show them the vacuum, or you say, I'm going to take the vacuum out for 2 seconds or whatever.
Yep.
And then you pull it out of the closet and then put it back.
Yep. And something else I've done. So we are going to tell them that we're going to use the vacuum, but we might start far away from the house. So when we're having to vacuum, we might be upstairs in the far away room, and then we're going to have the mom or the dad or caregiver, whoever's there, be all the way downstairs in the other corner. So as far away in the house as you can possibly get, with the doors closed, you're going to put it on and start to vacuum. And again, making sure that
you were saying the caregiver. You're saying the vacuuming person is upstairs vacuuming.
So somebody's with the child. Somebody's with the child.
Downstairs at the opposite side of the house.
Opposite side of the house.
Okay, got it.
So opposite side of the house, doors closed. And so, again, you're trying to muffle that sound a little bit.
And then you're saying, they're going to vacuum now.
Yep.
And then what? Call the cell phone and say, okay, turn it on.
You can, definitely.
Okay.
Where before, we would say, like, okay, get ready at whatever time. So we're going to, put on the vacuum at 12 o'clock for 10 seconds.
Okay.
And then so we let them know.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then what do you do? Slowly bring it closer and closer?
And then you slowly bring it closer and closer.
Okay. And
so then it's, downstairs, still downstairs with the door closed, and you're one room closer. Then with the door closed, and you move a little closer.
Okay.
And then you start maybe going up the stairs. And this is just an example I'm using. I know not everybody has a 2-story house, but you see the point where you're getting closer and closer. Mm-hmm. Then when you start to open the door, you might want to go further away again. So maybe if you open the door and have the doors open so they're not as muffled, you might start further away again.
Okay.
And have it with the doors open, and getting them just used to that sound, used to those everyday sounds that we hear.
Okay, so say that they listen to it for 10 seconds and they're calm, they don't freak out, everything's cool. Do you give them reinforcement? Do you give them their favorite candy? Do you give them something to say, good job, you got through it?
You could definitely give them something. If they're earning something, here's your candy, here's playing a video game. But just think about it. Just having the sound off is the reinforcement. So being able to turn it off, it's like, I don't have to listen to that anymore. And you can be at the same time as the vacuum is going, you are playing one of their favorite games already. So you're already playing something to essentially have them distracted while it's going on. So you can be playing their favorite video game. You can be reading a good book that they like. You could be what's something else? You could be already eating a snack together.
So do you want to do something they like to do while you're doing it? Because
I like to do that.
Okay, because that will help them be calm, right?
Yep. I like to do that because you're already doing something that they enjoy, and it could be a good coping strategy. So they could be listening to their favorite music while this is going on, and then they're going to be learning to do that when it happens in real life. Because when the vacuum goes off, they can distract themselves and learn, like, oh, when this goes off, I can go listen to my music. or I can go listen to my video game while this is going on.
Oh.
So let me distract myself, or let me leave the room and go do this.
Oh, okay. So you're also teaching them to do something appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, cool.
Because we do that too. I mean, if there's a sound that we don't like, we're going to be doing something to help, distract us, or
earplugs,
or leave the room, or
yeah.
So all those things.
Okay. Cool. So we talked about the weed eater and some other things. So pretty much the same thing, same way you would do it for everything?
Yes, it is. A lot of the same things. So if we're, as we're doing step by step of we're this far away, or first we're doing it on the phone. So it's not even in real life, we're watching it on video. Then we're doing it in video, but we're very far away. And then we get closer and closer. In real life, you mean? In real life, what did I say?
You said video twice.
Oops. Oh, silly me. So then we're getting closer and closer in real life. Mm-hmm. But we do the same thing. So if it's the blender or the hair dryer, same thing. So we can start far away and get closer. If it's the machines outside, so the weed whacker or the lawnmower, same thing. Start far and move closer. You can use the phone first. And what about the dryers, those hand dryers out in public, or flushing the toilet out in public? Those are some big ones. Those can be very scary. You never know when they're going to go off, too.
Okay. So it kind of seems like a lot of work, right?
It can be, and it can take a lot of time.
Because you're saying, do it 1 second with no sound on a phone on YouTube, then 2 seconds no sound on a phone YouTube, then 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, then turn the sound on a little bit and start over.
Right.
And then that's how you have to do it. I mean, that's like, wow, that's a lot.
It can be. It can take a long time to go through this, but
you can do it faster.
You can do it faster.
It just all depends on how
so
they're
per
doing,
kid,
right?
which is why it's so hard to, even go on this video and say, here's what you do. I can't give you here's what you do, because everybody is different. Everybody learns a little bit differently. And you have to make sure that they're willing to do it, and the parents are okay working on this too. Mm-hmm. So everybody has to be okay with it first.
So there's a lot of variables.
There's a lot of variables. And so even making this, this video is like, what are the steps? Mm-hmm. You can't just say it. Just here exactly is what it is.
Well, hopefully I'm helping with that.
Yeah.
By asking you all these things, but...
No, it really does help. It really does help a lot. And just, just the note to say it varies with everybody. So some you can jump ahead, and maybe you don't even have to use a phone first, but you can do it in person. Or maybe they're doing so well that essentially within one day they can get up to full volume. So it could go quickly, and being okay to tolerate it. I know I've worked with, some kids and even some adults with things that are out in the community, like the hair dryers out in the community, or babies crying. Hand dryers.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or the hand dryers. And some of it has been fast, and some of it has been taking a long time, months to a year. Dogs barking could be one. So it could be a lot of different things, and it could take a long time.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So it could be short, it could be long.
Yep. Everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
And I guess maybe you could give some pointers for nonverbal, because you said you're just telling them 1 second. I guess you would probably just have something to write it down 1 second.
You could use some, either their Oddcom, or you can use some visuals to let them know. But also don't, just because somebody is nonverbal, they could still understand our language. So they could still really understand us.
Oh,
so if I say 1 second, they can still understand me, but they may not be able to verbalize it.
I see.
No, but it was a very, very good question.
Okay.
So I would still tell them and give them a warning, but you might have to use other strategies. So you might want to write it down for them, or you might want to let them know on their Oddcom, or maybe even with a video.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, or even show them what to do next with a video, which is a great idea.
One more question, and then I think we got it. So say they've learned and they're okay with the vacuum.
Okay.
But they still have trouble with hand dryers, right?
Right.
Is it going to be easier to teach them to be okay with hand dryers, or will they be okay with them? Usually, or in your experience, have you had people, has it been easier? Does it get easier?
That's a fantastic question. I don't know how you come up with these.
Thanks.
Well, actually, a lot of times it is easier. So once you look at one, and if we're looking at almost those mechanical sounds, And I feel like there's a theme with those mechanical sounds. So if there's the vacuum, but there's also that was great. And then there's the blender and the hair dryer.
I'm not doing all of them.
I thought we were going to keep going here.
Yeah.
So if we have all those sounds, but there's those higher pitched mechanical sounds, I don't know if you have a better term, but there's very similar. So they a lot of times can naturally generalize. And so it's a little bit easier to go through those different ones.
It is easier. They can naturally generalize.
But I don't want to say for everybody, because for some kids, we do have to teach each one and go over each one. There's some kids that will naturally be able to be okay with a lot of various ones.
Okay.
And some where you have to go step by step.
Okay.
So it depends, as usual.
Is it more that makes it easier usually?
But a lot of times
usually,
it does.
right?
A lot of times it does make it easier.
I want to say that it does get easier, okay? So it does, right? It does
you
get
can
easier.
say that.
Yeah, okay. All right, well then that's it. So I want to make Courtney do the outro because she is scared of doing the outro.
Oh, the outros. Okay, here we go. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Click the subscribe button.
And like
Click
the video.
the thumbs up button.
And of course, you can go ahead and leave a comment if you have a question. Or if you want to just say that you've tried it out or you've tried something similar and let us know, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And
great job.
Thank you so much for watching.
Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next week. We've been pretty consistent lately, so let's keep it up.
Thumbs up for us.
Woo! All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.